Hi and welcome to our YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about how to fix a common problem with a STIHL chainsaw. Bit of a safety warning then, and safety disclaimer. You take the chainsaw apart at your own risk. I take no responsibility for what I've shown you here today. It's not a very big job, as you can see, but if you're in any doubt, you should take your chainsaw to a STIHL authorised repair shop and have them do the work. This is a STIHL MS171 chainsaw. The 181 is identical. The only difference with the 181 is it has a slightly thicker bar, but other than that, they're mechanically identical. This is a 2011 model, so it's a few years old now. Okay, so first of all, let's talk a little bit about the problem with the chainsaw. So as we can see here from the cardboard I've put down to protect the work surface, it's leaking oil. And where I think it's leaking oil from, as we can see from the chainsaw here, there's a bit of oil and residue here. There's a pipe here that goes from the oil chamber into the oiler, and this pipe here has either become perished or split, and this pipe's going to need replacing, so that's what we're going to look at today. Okay, so a few tools we're going to need to do the job. We've got here a funnel or a ton dish. We've got a Torx screwdriver here. I'm going to be using a T27. This is secure Torx, but you don't need secure Torx. This is just what I have to hand. I've got just a screwdriver here that we're going to need to use to prise the pipe away from the body of the chainsaw. Also a pair of pliers will come in handy because it's a little bit tricky to get that pipe out. Also here I've got a vessel here that I'm going to be using. It's an old ferroliquid bottle just to drain the oil out of the chainsaw. Okay, so safety first. Chainsaw is a dangerous tool, so we're going to keep the sheath on the bar at all times. We're also going to make sure that the lock is engaged so that the chainsaw can't move while we're working on it. And also once we've removed the cover, we're going to disconnect the HT lead from the spark plug, so there's no chance that the chainsaw can start up and do us any damage. Okay, so a little bit about the parts we're going to need to do this repair job. So here, first of all, we've got the oil pipe for the chainsaw. This was a simple eBay purchase. Just eBayed for MS171 oil pipe. Paid about £7 for the pipe, including postage and packaging. The pipe doesn't include the oil filter at the end, so that was an extra £3. And I've already attached that into the plastic pipe here. Bit fiddly, little bit of oil around the end. Pressure it on, make sure it's fitted nice and securely. The reason why we're going to replace the filter now and not use the existing one is the only way to replace this filter is to actually remove this pipe. As we're doing the job, it would make sense to just replace that whole part. Okay, so next thing we need to do is open up the cap to the oil reservoir, and inside you can see the filter inside, and you can see you can't get that out to replace it without taking this pipe out. That's why we're going to do this as the same job. So here's a close-up of the actual pipe that we're going to be replacing, so you can see inside the oil reservoir. So I've already drained the oil reservoir as part of this, so what I've simply done is just taken the cap off. I've put the funnel into the vessel here, put that in there, tip the chainsaw up, and I've left it for about 20 minutes to make sure all the oil's fully drained. To replace this pipe, it's fiddly to get in with the actual chainsaw handle in the way, so we're going to need to basically get the handle out of the way. Now there are other YouTube videos available for different models of STIHL saw that tell you basically you need to remove the whole carburetor body, then take the whole of the linkage apart from the handle and take the whole handle mechanism away. That's quite a big job, and I think I found a way to do it without removing the whole handle mechanism. We'll just be able to move the handle out of the way. Okay, so to remove the handle, first of all what we'll need to do is remove the orange cover from the top of the chainsaw. Put that over there like that. For safety again, we're going to disconnect the HT lead from the spark plug to stop the chainsaw automatically or potentially starting. If you look down here, we can see the linkage, the throttle linkage cable, throttle linkage wire there. Normally, people are suggesting on the internet that you have to remove that linkage cable to disconnect the whole of the handle. The problem with that is that means you're taking off the whole of the carburetor body, which is quite a big job, getting into the linkage cable. So we think we found a way to do that without needing to take that apart. There are 3 screws that we're going to need to remove to get the handle away. So this is the first one here, okay, which is on the top of the chainsaw. The next one is down here by the handle, bottom of the handle just there, okay. All these are T27 Torx. And then the last one is this one here. Okay, so now with the 3 screws removed, you can see that the handle will come away from the body a little bit, and that's just enough to be able to get into this black pipe. Now, I will actually confess I've already removed the pipe in a previous exploration with the chainsaw, so it will be easier to get out, but basically you get the idea. So there's you can see here the pipe goes into the body here, which I'll actually just flick that out. Now obviously that would be much tighter, and previously I've had to use these pliers to prise that cable out. So as we do that carefully, you'll see on the end of the pipe is the oil filter that we could see previously when we looked in through the oil top up there. And we've also got that into there, so let's just pull this out gently. Okay, so basically this is the old pipe. So somewhere, for some reason, this pipe is leaking. It's either not made a good seal round here somewhere, or it's not made a good seal round here as it goes into the oiler. So basically this is the old filter and the old pipe. So we're going to cast that to one side. Okay, so before you refit the replacement pipe, what you need to do is make sure that all these areas around the oil reservoir here, and also where it enters the oiler, is clear from debris. So I've already cleared this up last time I took the chainsaw apart. But what we want to do is, again, just make sure that it's free of debris. Otherwise the pipe won't make a good seal. So I'm just going to clear that up. Okay, so we've got our replacement pipe that we talked about earlier. What I'm going to do is just put a little bit of the residue oil just around the seal there, just to help it slide into place, and also into here as well. This is clean oil, so that's fine. Okay, so the first thing to do then, I'm going to try and move the handle out as much as possible. And what I'm going to do is start by feeding the filter into the oil chamber and turning the pipe round. So we've got the pipe proximately in place, and I'll start by getting this end in first. Now it's really important that you don't pinch the pipe, obviously, because if you pinch the pipe it's going to leak oil. So I'll just get this in place. It can be very fiddly, that's fine. Now what I'm going to do is use the screwdriver, but I'm going to be really careful here not to pinch or split the existing pipe. So let's just get that down in there. Come on, in you go. There we go. Okay, that's that one in. Press down. Okay, so we'll start by just working the pipe in to the oil chamber there. There we go. Okay, that's popped in nicely, and I just checked around the bottom of the pipe there. A bit difficult for you to see, but I think now it's popped into place nicely. Just give everything a final push down. Make sure the pipe's fitted firmly, and I'm quite happy with that. I think that's a good job there. Okay, so here we can see, just check the final one last time, check that the pipe's in, see that it's seated correctly, otherwise it's just going to leak oil again. Okay, so now we've got the chain oil reservoir filled up. What I've done is put it down a fresh piece of cardboard, and I'm going to leave the chainsaw overnight. Sat down now just to make sure that there's no further leaks. Thanks for watching, guys.